Elzevarius Horn was a custodian of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. His book with drawings of holy edifices is published in 1744, but there's more to his book. Horn delivered a dedicatory inscription. This here is from the book of Elzevarius Horn. What does AJ write about it? He says, it means nothing less than that the correction of al-Malik's signature to al-Mamun was not there in the early 18th century. Here is the translation. The reason for the building of this temple, which the Most High God made famous, was the son of a great King Melwan, with whom God has mercy. The first sentence here is supposedly what was written in the Dome of the Rock when Elzevarius Horn saw it. And if that's true, then yeah, AJ definitely has a point. But having seen how AJ works in the past, I was immediately skeptical. I went to the Vatican Digital Library and did get a copy for myself. So here we have also the picture of the dome. And then comes the text. As usual, I was interested in the context, and I made my own translation here. He writes, P. Murianus de Maleo, former prelate of the Holy Land, as he himself recalls in his Terra Sancta Novita Illustrata, was trying to procure for himself a copy of this inscription, but despite his special attention and caution, he has only obtained a fragment, which he thus utters in Arabic in reverse order. Then comes the Arabic text. What Elzevarius Horn tells us is that it wasn't him who saw this text. He refers to P. Murianus de Maleo. Luckily, Elzevarius also gives us a reference. Apparently, P. Murianus de Maleo wrote a text called Terra Sancta Novita Illustrata. Eventually, I did find it. In Italian, it's called Terra Santa Nuovamente Illustrata. Here is the chapter on the Temple of Solomon. I tried to translate that one as well. What does our friend Mariano write? From my Turkish friends told me there is no altar inside, no statues, no picture, because they are abolished by Mahometans. There are some inscriptions in the Arabian language, and I was curious to have a copy, but for all my diligence I was able to acquire only a fragment, which translates to: the reason for the building of the noble temple that the Most High God ennobled was the great king, son of Meswan. May God have mercy on him. Did you catch that? He has to rely on Turkish friends to tell him anything about the inside. Why? Because he can't get inside because he's Christian, and Christians couldn't get into the dome. So he's not an eyewitness either. From our eyewitness from the 18th century, we've now moved to a second degree hearsay in the 17th century. A.J. Deus doesn't read his own sources. All he had to do was to go up one paragraph and translate it, and then he would have seen that it wasn't Elzevarius Horn who saw this, it was somebody else. And then he could have gone and do what I did and find the original source and see that he wasn't an eyewitness either. The entire case of H.A. Deus is really now collapsing on itself. I have to say, I'm really disappointed by H.A. Deus. I went into this, I was skeptical from the beginning, but I was open-minded, I would say, and I was intrigued by some of the questions that he asked. And I think those are valid questions, but what he's doing with every piece of evidence that he presents, whenever I looked at it, I found out that it usually says the exact opposite of what he says it does. And it's a shame that he's fooled people.